How many kids you got?
I got 3.
You got 3?
Yep.
How many baby daddies?
I have 3.
You got 3 baby daddies.
And we are the ones who are going to have to carry that stage. It's like they become the symbol of what we did.
Yes.
Okay, how many kids you have?
I have 2.
How many baby daddies?
2.
2? Okay. So you didn't think after the first one that you wanted to marry the next one?
No.
No? Okay.
It can cause you to not pursue and become all you can be in life because you can't move in these streets like that when you got kids.
Your first one is given. Your second one, the mistake is on you.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, you are, no, honey bun,
Okay.
you're too aggressive.
You don't want somebody to Halle Bailey you.
I know.
Or is there something wrong with you?
Possibly. But I think I'm just fine.
What's up, you guys? It's your girl, Owl Eyes. Alright, so let's get into this and then we'll discuss some things, right?
What's your name?
Janae, what do you do? I'm in school for fashion design. I'm an office assistant, and I'm a new entrepreneur. Just about to launch my fitness clothing line called We Fit.
Okay, and why did you end up popping your balloon for Brian?
Hey, Brian. I love the way you speak, but for me, it was the pants. I don't like the pants too tight. I'm kind of ghetto too, so I like them a little loose. And
I told y'all these skinny jeans. Y'all men stop wearing these skinny jeans. I mean, not that it's a reason not to go out with a guy, but and maybe it's just because it's a trend. You know how trends are. People just follow the trends. But like I say, you guys, back in the 90s, them jeans been baggy, and that's all I know.
that was just it for me.
How old are you?
34.
34? How many kids you got?
I got 3.
You got 3?
Yep.
How many baby daddies?
I have 3.
You got 3 baby daddies. Okay.
I should have said 0, because it's just me.
You gonna lie to the public?
No, I have 3, but it's just me. I'm a single parent. There's no man in my life.
No man in your life? Why is the
My
reason
boys.
for there no man in your life?
Well, my first child, his father passed away, and the other 2 are nowhere to be found. So, what can you do?
They do you like that? What's wrong with them?
Something. Only God
Or
knows.
is there something wrong with you?
Possibly, but I think I'm just fine.
I think you're just fine as well.
Thank you.
Right. But to say that a 41-year-old man is disqualified because of his pants,
You're 41?
I'll be 41 in September.
Okay, because I was like, I thought you said 40.
I'll be 41 in September. That's coming up.
I like it. It's okay for you. It's not my style. You know, with everything going on, I like the pants to be a little baggy, that's all.
Where you from, love?
Kansas City.
Kansas City.
Yeah.
Okay. How long you been out here?
2 years.
2 years?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you. Let's go on over here. We can have your name and age.
She ended that real fast. Nice to meet you. Keep going.
I am Venusian, 39. And you said Venusian? And what do you do?
I'm a TikTok creator manager.
Cool. And why did you end up popping your balloon?
I'm a free-spirited woman, so having to check in with somebody like they are my parent is something that I don't subscribe to, so that's why I pop my balloon.
What do you mean check in like they're your parent?
The way that you were discussing how somebody needs to constantly, when we're out and about, to text or call and check in, that's something that I don't just subscribe to, so that's why I pop my balloon.
I guess you feel like I am not going to be controlled in that manner. I am not checking in with you. You are not my parents. And some people feel like that, especially when you deal with very grownish women, I would say, who maybe are in their 40s and already set in their ways. Maybe a 20-year-old or, more younger girls. And, some of us did that back then. That's what we did, Call our boyfriends. They calling us everywhere we go. Just in love. But grown women, no, they are not subscribing to that type of control.
Or is it for yourself?
It's for TikTok.
The TikTok?
Social media.
Okay, social media?
Social media agent, yes.
Okay, how many kids you have?
I have 2.
How many baby daddies?
2.
2? Okay. So you didn't think after the first one that you wanted to marry the next one?
No.
No? Okay. I was just asking because for real men, that's what matters. Your first one is given. Your second one, the mistake is on you.
Oh, is it? Well, there's
That's definitely
circumstances
right.
under why I got
That's
pregnant,
definitely
but
right.
that's nor here or there, and
Yeah,
that's not
but-
what I'm here for.
Okay, definitely. You're a beautiful woman, though.
Thank you.
But I respect your answer.
I see what he kind of saying, you know, and you don't want to be making that type of mistake when it comes to having kids. Because it's so many things when having kids. You want to be so careful because you don't want to bring them into this world where they don't have both parents or under certain circumstances, or you just not being ready, or the environment just not right for them to live in. You know, so I see what he kind of saying, you know, you make that mistake the first time, and then ladies, we'll have to talk to the ladies later, because second time, it's kind of on you. Try to make better decisions. But that goes to men too. And that's one thing I hate. I hate how biased everything is, because, I mean, at the end of the day, guess who's going to wear that stigma? Because we have the womb. We are the ones that can get pregnant. And for that reason, though, that's why we need to be careful. But it's like, but the men, they don't get that stigma. You know, when it comes to having kids and having multiple baby mamas, which I look at the men just like how they might look at us, like, no, we don't do that behavior. So, but kind of see what he's saying, and like she said, he don't know what really happened, her circumstance. Who knows what might happen? Maybe one of her baby fathers died, and maybe she got with someone else, but still, I'm gonna have to speak on Bible at the end of the day, because at the end of the day, we are women. We are the ones who have the wombs and who have to carry the baby, and who's gonna have to carry that scarlet letter as well, that stigma of it all, and we just gonna have to be a lot more careful than, you know, what we're or how we're going about in this world when it comes to dating and fornicating. So, and I am on the women's side, believe me. I am not making this video to bash women, because at the end of the day, that could have been any one of us. It could have been me. So we're not bashing women for having multiple kids and baby daddies. Just at the end of this video, I just hope to speak to that young girl and just wrap a different mindset around her to, you know, maybe be more careful as a woman, because like I said, we are the ones who are going to have to carry that stigma. We are the ones who the kids have to stay with, and it's like they become the symbol of what we did almost. And so, and the men, they don't. And guess what? It can cause a whole lot of heartache. It can cause you to not pursue and become all you can be in life, because you can't move in these streets like that when you got kids. I'm sorry. That's just the way it is. Especially if you're trying to be a good mom. You just can't be throwing your kids everywhere and then having things happen to them because you throwing your kids around, and especially with our young girls. Like, we don't want to have little baby girls and young kids like that are females and just throwing them around everywhere, because things can happen. And most of the time it's the family members. So you know what I'm talking about. So I kind of see what he's saying, but at the end of the day, I don't like how he's almost trying to bash or make her feel bad, I guess you can say, because of what happened, her decision. And just because they don't have to carry what we carry as women.
Here, okay, we can start off with your name and age.
I'm Shay, and I'm 37.
How you doing, Shay?
Doing amazing.
Shay, what do you do?
So I work for the county, and I have my own hair business and a few other little small businesses.
All right, and now why did you end up popping your balloon?
So originally I was feeling it. I like I don't want to say a bad boy, but I like somebody that's outspoken. But the question of, I feel like you're challenging the women. Oh, how many baby daddies you got? And then, you know, does that matter? You say future, so that's their past. It's not their future. How many kids do you have?
I have one daughter. She's 19.
Do you want more?
I do.
My balloon still pop because I don't want any more.
Okay.
You don't want any more?
Not at all. I have.
You can't have any more. You
No, I
choose
choose
not
not
to
to have any more. I have a
Okay.
almost 14-year-old, and
Okay, yeah. Well, the reason for me asking their past about the baby daddies, because it lets me know where they're going in their future. If you didn't want to have a baby daddy for the second time, then that lets me know that you was uncareful of what you're dealing with.
Do you necessarily
Okay.
believe that somebody's past is their past that don't determine their future?
Not,
Because I mean, I can look at you and say like you made people make mistakes, and it could happen. I feel like once or twice. Okay, some things become a choice, but
no,
your
no,
past
no.
doesn't determine.
When it comes to once is a mistake. Twice, that's on you.
Okay, so then say like you get into a relationship with somebody, you get married, and things don't work. So then I guess you made a mistake, and then so you once is a mistake, and then twice is. I don't believe in that because I believe things happen.
Sweetheart, twice is on you.
Okay.
You should have learned from that very first
No.
mistake. Okay?
Lessons are
And
to
not
be learned.
saying that your child is a mistake, right?
Of course
But the
not.
fact that you chose the wrong man to have kids with, and secondly, not to have a marriage.
Yeah, I have to stop it right there. That's another thing too. I kind of agree with him a little bit on that part. And I'm speaking to the women, and this is just trying to get women. You have to vet these guys because at the end of the day, guess what can happen? You can get pregnant and you can have a baby. Are you really listening when you go on dates? Are you really watching this guy and see how he interacts with not only you, other people, seeing where his heart is? Does he even have any faith or any type of connection to faith, to God, to do the right thing? You know, because things will happen. And we don't want it to be a mistake. And hopefully, and back in the day, a lot of guys, if a girl got pregnant, they married that girl. And which, you know, and that's the thing you don't want to fall into either, because you don't want to have to marry somebody just because you got them pregnant and maybe that wasn't the person for you just because, oh yeah, it was all good when you was doing the do, and now that a baby pop, oh, now you want to run. You can't do that. And that's another thing I want to talk about too. I'm going to go into the Duggars and how they keep their stuff, you know, just celibate until marriage, because that's what you got to do. And that's why I'm going to talk about the Bible too, because at the end of the day, we just do what the Bible say to do. Don't fornicate, have all these sexual perversions and immoralities. You won't have to worry about a lot of this stuff. You won't have to worry about becoming a baby mama once, twice, or 3 times. And sometimes even then though, you still can get married and, you know, things might happen. But let's really court and date people. Leave that part out of it. Leave the sexual part out of it, because you might find at the end of the day, you date this person, you really get to know them, and you might find some things that you just don't like about them. And now, you know, if you find that out, you might not even want to even be involved with that person anymore. So, and then you won't have to worry about, oops, a baby popped out, because no, let me not do anything with you. Let me not have any of those soul ties with you. Let's just keep it moving. We don't click. Our chemistry don't click. And, you know, let's just be friends and we'll see what happens. But, you know, let me just keep moving and dating someone else. And you can date. There's nothing wrong with a girl. And I think a lot of people think, oh, just because she dating all these guys, just because you dating, that don't mean you have to be having sex with them. You can date how much you want to date. That's how you get to know people. And you should be dating. In your 20s, you should be dating and getting to know who your future mate is going to be. Vetting them out and seeing the type of person that they are. That don't mean you have to have sex with them. You shouldn't be having sex with them. Don't be having sex with just any and everybody, because at the end of the day, things will happen. You don't want to end up, you don't want somebody to Halle Bailey you. So we're going to talk about her too. So, because that's a topic of discussion these days, and I hate that for her, but yeah, let's get back to this video.
Marriage after the next one or before
Marriage
the next
doesn't
one?
determine, and I'm a person that wants to be married, but marriage don't determine anything. I done known people to be married for a long time and it don't work out, baby. So yeah, you are, no, honey, but
Okay.
you're too aggressive now.
No problem. Well, you know, the aggressiveness, that comes from a Southern man, right?
Baby, let me explain
And we
something to you.
stand on what we talking
My roots
about.
come from Texas, so
Okay, I'm from New Orleans.
okay, so
You know what I
the
mean?
South,
So
the
when
battles
you-
of the South.
All right,
like I
Brian,
said again.
Brian, let's move on. Let's
Okay,
move on. Let's
no
move on.
problem. Have a good day, love.
If we can have your name and age.
Hi, my name is Shay, and I'm 37.
And Shay, what?
These women is not having it in these streets, especially not these days.
Hello, Shay.
I am an insurance adjuster, and I'm just waiting to take my real estate license.
Nice. And why did you end up popping your balloon?
Just based off of the energy. I didn't want to pop it too soon. I like to fill you out first, but just based off of the energy and the conversations that were had between the women, just overall, that's it.
So you a follower?
No, I went out. That's why I said I didn't pop it right away. I wanted to see for myself.
So you didn't like my responses and the women that I responded to? You didn't like the responses?
Just the energy from it. Yeah.
If we can have your name and age.
Davinia, and I'm 41.
And Davinia, what do you do?
I'm a compliance analyst for a payment processing company.
And why did you end up popping your balloon?
I popped my balloon. I was waiting because I was trying to feel the energy, the vibe, the connection, chemistry. And I believe he was speaking very well, very suave, handsome gentleman. So I was trying to give it some time. But then it started to feel like an attack. And I didn't like or agree with the attack. So that was why I popped my balloon.
Okay. So you say it felt like an attack. Can you elaborate on that?
You don't judge people from their past, or you like to start off with a clean slate. I don't think that if a relationship works out for a woman and it happens to be her second baby daddy per se, I don't think that's her fault. So if she decides to stay and marry the man, like Brian says, then that means she's settling. And I don't agree with a woman having to settle just because the opinions of others thinking that, it's going to be her fault. It's her fault because it didn't work out. No. Because people, they start off with different personas, and then you slowly kind of learn who they.
Y'all see the other girl in the black? It's like, why not?
Because people, they start off with different personas, and then you slowly kind of learn who they really are. So if you decide to walk away because that situation isn't healthy for you, that doesn't mean that it's your fault that it didn't work out.
Okay. So there's 4 big.
But still, we not bringing marriage into this. And I just don't want to come off the wrong way on this video. Yeah, you have a kid. You're not married. Then you go to dating somebody else. Still not married. And it's almost like she's leaving that part out to me, because at the end of the day, after that first one, you should be like, okay, I'm not having any more kids. Let me try to have some discipline. Let me try to be celibate. So I can get married first and try to do this the right way. So I kind of see, oh my gosh, sometimes I don't too much like the thinking of some of this as well, because we want to be marriage minded, especially when you're doing grown up things, and because you don't want to keep bringing kids in the world and then there's no commitment. And guess who the stigma falls on? The woman. And so just her saying that, I mean, where's the vision of marriage, And she was saying something about she don't want to settle and stay in something that's not working out. Well, that's why the first time, try to get married first. That should be the goal. Try. And I know sometimes it doesn't work out that way, especially the world we live in today. Unless your parent has you on a lock and key, like the Duggars have their kids, and so they're just not seeing a lot of that outside world stuff, and can keep their minds and their heart pure for that type of thing. It's hard. And so, and when you start getting older, you start wanting to do those type of things, but try to be disciplined and be marriage. I just want people to be more marriage minded. I just want women to be more marriage minded, not just jumping in and out of relationships and not having that more as the vision to get married. And another thing I want to say too, to the fathers out there, because at the end of the day, say that woman does get married and she has kids for this man that she married, and say things don't work out. You can have 1 kid, 2 kids, 3 kids. Hey, so guess what? Always, let me put it like this: a father should always have, well, the girl's father, let me say it like that. A girl's father should always have a place for that young woman to come back and stay, should that marriage don't work out. Or even, I'll say too, even if they're not married and that relationship doesn't work out, that way that young woman doesn't feel like she has to settle or stay in recurring relationships and having kids with different baby daddies, just trying to make it, because at the end of the day, go back home to your father's house and, recoup, regroup. And I wanted to jump in here and add this also, even where I was saying, father should always have a place for that daughter to, come back and stay should something happen and a child is involved. She should always have that place to stay. But that should be more on the fathers to be more involved as well, because who wants their kid moving back into their house after they done raised them? So if fathers were more involved in helping their daughters pick a suitable mate, making sure that young man know, you're not playing with my daughter. You're not going to just do anything with my daughter. You're going to court her. And first, you're going to come ask me, can you, court and date my daughter? And once that young man know, the father ain't playing and you just not going to do anything with my daughter, because, at the end of the day, that father don't want that child moving back into his house and that becoming his responsibility, because usually that's how it is. The girl goes back, stay with the parents, and guess whose responsibility is? The father takes care of the daughter until she's married. That's how it should be and how it used to be. And who wants that? You want to be involved in your daughter's dating life and making sure she picks a suitable mate, so it does not become your problem. And that way you don't feel like you have to settle, get back on track and keep it pushing and keep it moving. So I just wanted to add that in there too.
Billion women on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a black American from Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
I have the choice to have the pick of the litter.
Mm-hmm.
So why would I pick you if you have multiple baby daddies?
Well, don't pick me.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And
you
I
have
understand
the choice.
that.
You have the choice. We all have a choice.
I have the choice, but
Yeah.
you're judging me on the fact that I have the choice.
No, I'm not judging you. That just means that I'm not for you. If you're going to judge me because my second baby daddy didn't work out for me, then I'm not for you. So I'm not judging
And I
you and your
understand that.
opinion
How many
and
kids
your
you have?
preference. I have 3.
You have
25,
3?
18, and 12.
Okay, how many baby daddies?
2.
2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
These baby daddy thing.
there's no disrespect towards that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I just want you to understand, when it comes to a man of top tier, right? We give you a few.
How he figure he's so top tier? He act like he's single, don't have any kids, because he does have a daughter. I think he said she's 11 or something. I think he does have a kid himself. Like, stop trying to come on here. Like, his whole energy sometimes, I almost still feel like he's trying to say he's not judging, but yet he's judging.
Few from one man.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. If you have multiple from a different man,
Mm-hmm.
that disqualifies yourself.
So it disqualifies a top tier woman from getting a top
That's
tier
exactly
man
right. Why?
if
Because
she
there's
has-
billions of women on this planet. All right?
I respect your opinion.
Okay.
Okay, well, Brian, that is all the balloons popped.
No problem.
But we do thank you for coming on. Let's go ahead and give it.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I think my final say would be, I just want women to be more marriage minded, and the reason for that is because, like I said in the beginning, we are women. I'm sorry. I remember I used to be such a feminist, and it's not fair, and they should not look at us the way they look at us just because we have 1, 2, 3 baby daddies. And no, and we're gonna do what we want to do, which is the 4B movement coming up. We just want to live and have our rights and be able to do what we want to do. But guess what? And I remember, I was such a feminist. I'm still am, because I'm still for women. Well, you better believe that. But at the end of the day, guess what? And I just felt something stirring in my heart, and you better fall back on that feminist stuff, because you got to kind of look into what's happening in the world too, and kind of look and kind of discern too. And I remember a lot of this came forth during the 2016 election, of course, with Trump, and me finding out a lot of stuff about a particular political party. That was the start of it all. And it was this young man on YouTube who really started, especially when Hillary Clinton was running for president, and started just really looking into things, and God opening my eyes and my heart to things, and really seeing what was going on in a particular party and why they were trying so hard to put and what I believe too to be true, why they were trying to put a woman in the White House, because they want to pass all of these feminist agendas. And see, I'm all right with stuff until it starts to be too much. It just started becoming too much. And we should not be so feministic to where it just taking over the role of the man. You guys will hear me probably speak about this in some of my other videos, about the gender roles switching places. I really don't like it because it just makes me look into the future and can kind of see what's going to happen. We shouldn't be as women trying to do everything. God didn't make it that way. Women's supposed to stay at home, take care of the kids. I mean, you can have a career too, ain't nothing wrong with that, but that was the main thing we were supposed to do, be nurturing and taking care of the kids and taking care of the home and husband. And the man is the one his stress is, going to work, making the money, and that's what they supposed to do. But now it's like, women, we're trying to take on too much. And I feel you, because like I say, I was a staunch feminist. Like, why not us? Why can't we be in the White House and have a woman as president? Because I voted for Hillary Clinton in 2016 and turned my eyes open with what was going on in that party, and it just started getting out of control. The kind of agendas they be passing, but that's a whole nother story that you guys probably already know about. But it's like, why not us? And I know a lot of other women feel like that too, because we can work, come home, take care of the kids, feed the kids, clothe the kids, get them clean, ready, get up the next day and do it all over again. And on top of that, we got other relationships that is kind of seen as the woman taking care of, like say our fathers or mothers get sick. Guess who that falls on? It falls on the women or the females in the family, because now I gotta go take care of mama, sister call you, she needs somebody to keep her kids. I mean, we take on so many roles, we wear so many hats, we are such good multitaskers, it's ridiculous. So I'm like, why not us? But you know what? Like something inside you said, you better fall back on some of this feminist stuff, because it's going to get out of control. And now I can see it. Now I can see how it is, and it's running too. It has grown legs and it is running, and that's, we just need to go back. And not saying that, and that's another reason why I say that's why fathers of young women, make sure you have a place for that young woman to come stay, because we go back to that and staying at home and taking care of the kids, and these men are not being faithful, they're not leading their homes by the will of God, so they probably out philandering with other women and doing things that they're not supposed to do, and say, yeah, the marriage does come to an end, because we shouldn't have to stay and put up, like back in the day, our parents used to stay and put up with that stuff. These women is not putting up with that stuff these days. So that's why it's good for fathers who have young daughters to make sure they have a place to stay in case, and the daughter should know that, I can come back home and stay with my father and mother. I have a place, so that if it doesn't work out, at least they don't feel like they're stuck or have to settle or stay in a position that they don't want to stay in. But my thing is, just let's try to be, as females, more marriage minded and trying to do it the right way, because at the end of the day, we all female, we are built a different way. We do have the womb, and guess what? We do have the babies. So having a baby, it can put you back career wise. Sometimes some people might have like that, you may have the support system, so it might not affect them as much, but it can really slow you down. It can really cause, when you're trying to get into a different relationship and move on, it can put a stigma on you. It can put baggage on you. So we just got to be careful as females, because at the end of the day, that's just it. We females, and that's just the bottom line. And we're going to just have to operate a different way, in a certain way, because of that. And that's just the way it is. So I want to go into let's go into this 4B movement. I love it. I love the 4B movement. I think this is good. Because at the end of the day, like I say, let's be more marriage minded. Let's start being more celibate. And, he talks about these women having multiple baby daddies. A lot of that can be discarded if we just keep our legs closed, practice celibacy, and not fornicating, basically. And that's not bashing women, because hey, this is me too, because this could have been me too. And even though I don't have multiple baby daddies, oh no, I will forever take up for women because of the fact that we're the ones who have to carry the baby, and because of the fact that the stigma falls on us and not the man, which is, I think, is unfair. But like I said, we got to operate a different way, women. That's all. But no, but I think this is great. We are not going to have to worry about abortions. We are not going to have to worry about probably having multiple baby daddies, because try to do it the right way the first time and get married and have your kids, and that'll solve a lot of that issue. And I just think this is awesome. So go 4B movement. Now, that's not the reason why a lot of them are doing the 4B movement. It's really because of the whole election and this whole Trump thing. And really, this thing started in Korea in a way, I think in 2010 or something like that. But I love it. So let's get into that.
President-elect Trump's victory already setting off a viral storm on social media.
Start by taking back your power. It's time for action.
Some concerned women now taking radical steps. You may have seen it. Talk of the 4B movement gaining steam.
4B movement. The 4B movement. The 4B movement.
So what is it? Actually, a fringe feminist campaign from South Korea. The 4Bs, Korean for four no's, no marrying men, no giving birth, no dating men, and no sex with men.
There's so much pressure in South Korea for women to have kids, and
no, yeah, go ahead and adopt those ideas. No marrying men and no having sex with men. Them men is not even trying to hear that. Guess who they gonna do? Oh, they gonna find them some booty. So y'all can keep that going. And that's why a lot of these men, they going, oh, that's another, did I put that? I ain't put that video out yet. It's a lot of videos I'm supposed to put out before this one. But that's why these men going overseas and, you know, going to the Philippines and stuff and finding these other, what they like to call traditional women. No, y'all go ahead, keep playing up with these men, because they getting real sick of this stuff and this high feminist energy that's going on. And another thing about all this feminism and, you know, these type of issues, I think it's causing the men to become more feminine. That's probably why, another reason why they adopting a lot of these effeminate like characteristics. So because we're trying to take over too much, we gotta calm down. We gotta calm down just a little bit. It's okay. You can still do your thing as a woman, and you know, and I feel them too with certain things and holding men accountable, because we don't want all that sexual assault going on and them feeling like, oh, they can run over us and do anything they want to us. Like I said, back in the day, yeah, our parents and maybe their parents used to put up with that mess, but now women got their own careers, they got their own thing going, and they're gonna be real fast to tell you to get up out my face. I don't care if I got one baby, two baby, three baby, or I'm just gonna have a couple baby daddies, because I'm not gonna stay and put up with you. And I think that's part of the reason too why you've seen a lot of these multiple baby daddies, because these women, they just not staying with the person that they first had their first child with. They just not putting up with a lot of things. So
women felt extremely undervalued, so they have sort of banded together to not kind of give into these societal pressures.
South Korea has the world's lowest fertility rate. Now, Google searches for 4B surging to record levels in the U.S. as one of its top trending searches in the last 48 hours.
I've been waiting for everybody else to catch up to speed for a while.
Alexa Vargas says she stopped dating men 2 years ago.
They like to keep us around for sexual pleasure, and they like to get married and have kids to have this family man sort of image, but really a lot of men don't value us.
Her TikTok post this week about 4B reaching more than 100,000 views.
I got hundreds and hundreds of comments on my TikTok talking about how women...
I'm just sitting here. They like to keep us around for sexual pleasure.
My life! Adding fuel to the fire, posts from Trump supporting provocateurs with large male audiences, like white nationalist Nick Fuentes saying, "Your body, my choice, forever." And self-described
See? Some of these men, they just have too much ego as a man too. Like I think that's what the young girl was saying too. It's almost like they just look at women as a prize, as a possession, as an item, not even human. Like we're just here just for them to bang, basically. So I kind of see what she's saying. Yeah. So, like I say, at the end of the day, women, we just gonna have to vet more, be a little bit more careful because at the end of the day, we are women with the womb. So, and this whole 4B movement, and I think it's good. I think it's a good thing. Keep that going. Keep that same energy up until you get to your wedding. I love it. Um, I think it's a good thing. I think God will be happy with this 4B movement. Except now, some of these women, I think they're doing it inside of marriage too. Now, that's not going to work. But yeah, for all the young unmarried women, you need to practice some type of celibacy. And I can speak on that a little bit because I have always been celibate in between relationships. And well, I'll say it like this: I practiced celibacy throughout my years of living, I guess you can say. And I'm not just talking 1 month and 2 months. I'm talking about several years at a time. So I think it's for your protection. And that's one reason why I did it. I didn't want to have multiple baby daddies. That was never my vision. My vision was to get married and have all of my kids have the same father. And you know what get me too? It's so funny when people say, "Oh, your kids look alike." Okay, like what they supposed to look like? Maybe people are getting too used to seeing kids, all the siblings look different because of multiple baby daddies. I'm like, all my kids supposed to look alike. They got the same daddy. I mean, they might complexions might be a little different because my kids are like the color of the rainbow, the colors of the black rainbow. I'll say it like that. I got a dark skinned child. I got a child that's my complexion. I got a child that's lighter than me. So, but when they're born, they all look alike. And so, and everybody always say, "Oh, you just keep having the same child over and over and over." They have the same parents. I mean, that's how it's supposed to be. They supposed to look alike. So that's funny. And I'm laughing too because I've caught myself saying that one time. One of my friends had kids and I saw the first kid and then the second time around and I went to visit her and I'm like, my goodness, all your kids look alike. You can't even tell who is who. And then now she has another one and it's like, oh my gosh, wow, your kids, they just look the same. So I get it. I caught myself saying that too, and I have to catch myself. But yeah, they supposed to look alike. They all got the same parents. And so I forgot what I was talking about, but anyway. um Again, let's just be more marriage minded. That's all. Let's just have I think us women just need to have more of a vision when it comes to that type of thing of just, being more marriage minded and just not just focusing on other things beside boys in our younger years and just, coming more into ourselves and just, looking toward marriage more than just, just fornicating. Because at the end of the day, you are female, you can get pregnant. And that's just the bottom line. There's no other way I can say that. And this goes for me too, because I ain't speaking down on women. Me too. Yeah. So, yeah. Let's go to, so I think the 4B movement, I like it. Keep that same energy. Let's go to, I'm trying to think if I want to go to we'll leave the Bible stuff for last. Let's look at the Duggars. Now, I've been watching the Duggars since, let me see, I started watching them almost when the girls started courting and getting ready to be engaged and get married. I started watching them kind of toward those years and then started going back to some of the other episodes before then just to get to know them a little better since I, came on to them kind of late. And I know there's a lot of controversy, especially with the oldest Duggar and the type of trouble he has gotten into. And sometimes I don't like that because I don't want it to take away from how hard they raise almost 20 kids. And some people think that's easy to do. And some of us, we got like 1 or 2 kids and we pulling our hair out. So, and I don't like a lot of stuff. And I'm going to say it like this too. I watch a lot of different things. So I'm the type of person, I've always been like this, even as a young child. I would observe people, and certain things that I like, I take from them. Certain things that I don't like, I discard it. So it's almost like, watch people in life. That's how you learn and grow, and, eat the meat and spit out the bones. You don't have to subscribe to everything that they believe in or everything they do. Take the good stuff that they do and apply it to your life. So that's always just been me. And so, I just fell in love with this family because I love how many kids they had, for one. That was interesting. And just how they did things. And, it's supposed to have been like a more of a faith type show, their faith in God. And of course, I don't agree with everything they do. Like, I watch people for certain things. I watch different things on YouTube and TV for different reasons. I'll say it like that. It's not because I subscribe to everything a person does or just everything that they do. So, but I love this family, and I just love their sisterhood and their bond with each other. And I love how he was able to raise. These kids are talented. These kids flying airplanes. All the girls they probably know how to build a house, if you ask me. They be in there just doing things that the men can do too, in a skirt. So, they can play instruments and just very well-mannered. Just everything. They can just very good kids. Besides the oldest Duggar, and I think what happened to him, maybe he got in or saw some things at a younger age that caused him to go a certain route. And who knows, it's hard to keep an eye on almost 20 kids. So I can imagine maybe he or somebody introduced him to something and caused his mind to become very inquisitive, and and he just started doing things to his siblings he shouldn't have done. But let's not take from the fact of how the character of these kids. And a lot of kids, it kind of that what their oldest brother did, and some of their parents' teachings hurt them in the long run. Some of it in the long run, but I wouldn't say that part should have hurt them that much, that their parents made them stay a certain way before marriage, and they wouldn't even kiss until their wedding date, and hold hands and hug. So they had certain rules against that. And I remember, I think my daughter was like maybe 8 or 10 or 12 or something like that, and I would be watching the Duggars, and I say, see, look at this family. You see how the girls, they don't even kiss. They court and really get to know the guy. And my daughter look at me, she said, ain't nobody doing that. So, but I wanted her to see, what I subscribe to, and just try to show her some good role models that you can do it. You can do it this way. It can be done. And so, but she was like, I ain't having none of that. But she's a good kid though. But just, we gotta have more examples of this type of thing for our daughters, I think. And so, just let them see it, put it in their mind. Don't you worry, kids hear you. They hear what you say. Don't think your kid's not listening. Just put it in their radar, and then, of course they're gonna make their own decisions in life, but still put it in their radar. So, but anyway, let's get into the Duggars. Let's see here.
And I was wondering if you wanted to go to the next step of courtship with me.
Yes.
I had something to signify that. So I figured you'd put it on your right hand.
Yes.
On your ring finger. Yeah. But
I didn't even ask you.
Yeah. So
Joe, means we can hug.
Yeah. New thing, right?
This means we can hug. See, they don't hug. They kind of do like side hugs.
Yeah. I can't believe it. It's so exciting.
Yeah.
And it is a short trip. Like, maybe we do need more time to get to know each other. And so at this point, like, I'm still okay either way. Like, whether we're courting or not courting by the end of the trip is okay. More kissing from here on.
Every time I see that yellow sweater, it's like they always had on that yellow sweater for some reason. Jessa wore it. You know, of course, you saw that was Jill wearing it there.
Out.
Here we go. Good. Now you guys can guess. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
So, yeah, everybody at the reception will get to see us kissing and photos and all that.
Looks like they figured out how to do it. Maybe they need a lesson. Here's how you do it, Dad.
Here we go. Here, guys. Take one more time. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Yeah, I don't know.
Jim Bob could be so cringeworthy sometimes. I'm sorry.
That's a little interesting.
Well, what's on your mind?
Well, me and Jess have been texting for, a while, and I was just really appreciate her and her character and everything about her. I was wondering if we could make it official, if I could ask her to, make an official courtship.
Wow. What do you think, Mom?
Well, Ben, we really appreciate you, and we think you're a great guy, and...
I tell you what, Mama, why don't we have Ben ask Jessa?
Oh, I think that would be great. That would be
You wanna get her?
sweet.
Sure, go ahead.
Figured this was probably coming before too long, but I didn't know that soon.
Hey, Jess, how you doing?
Well, we've been praying and talking for a little while, and I was just wondering if you wanted to make it official and if you wanted to officially court me.
Yes.
Hey, I tell you what, you can go ahead and give him a side hug if you want to. 30 seconds. 3 seconds, I mean.
But I love that. I love that. I know some people would be like, girl, nobody doing that these days. But I like it. I remember I was 17, I was like, I ain't having sex until marriage. I was on that whole note. And 3 kids later. But I love that. I love that. I love that. I love when we can get as females back to that, and the men being more respectful and, really doing it that way. I like that. So, but anyway, let's go to the Bible, because it doesn't matter what I say. Doesn't matter what nobody say. If you're faith-minded and have that in your heart, it's kind of what God say. Which one are we going to? Not that one. We'll do that one last. All right, so what does the Bible say about fornication and sexual immorality? So Hebrews 13:4, let marriage be held in honor among all, and let the marriage bed be undefiled, for God will judge the sexually immoral and adulterous. So, try not to be, sexually immoral out there, because at the end of the day, I'm going to read the next Bible verse where it talks about the wages of sin is death. I mean, and not probably actual literal death, but it can cause a lot of consequences in the end. So that's why the Bible is there, because it's your protection. I know some of us want to do what we want to do, but sometimes, guess what? Sometimes you got to just do Bible and just leave it at that, because that's your protection. And that's why there are laws, and because of the consequences that might come if you don't follow those particular laws. So, I mean, at the end of the day, you can do what you want to do. It's your choice. God gives you free will. It's your choice. But guess what? If you want to have a more positive outlook on life and not have a whole lot of things happen to you. And let me tell you something too. Let me go into this, because this is something I want to say too. A lot of people who always say, well, when something bad happened to them, oh, I'm glad that happened to me because of the experience. I'm glad I went through it because it made me who I was today. I can't stand when people say that, because at the end of the day, you got all these examples of people doing good things. You have all these examples of people doing bad things, and that should be your experience, not for you to experience yourself and put yourself in a whole situation. Look at the consequences of other people and watch what they do. So at the end of the day, you're not standing saying, "Oh, well, it was a bad experience, and I'm glad that I got through it, and that I actually went through that, because it made me out to the person I am today." And I don't be trying to have those conversations. I don't be trying to say nothing like that. No, let me just not go through it so I can have a better life, and I won't have all these mental issues going on because of all of the stuff that happened in my past and the things I did and the choices that I made. So be careful with saying that. 1 Corinthians 6 chapter 18 through the 20th verse. Flee from sexual immorality. Every other sin a person commits is outside the body, but the sexually immoral person sins against his own body. Or do you not know that your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit within you, whom you have from God? You are not your own. Okay, for you were bought with a price. So glorify God in your body. And almost just like what I've been saying, no, you cannot do what you want to do. No, you are not your own. You cannot do what you want to do. Let me make sure you guys can see what I'm seeing, because I'm all the way on the website here. Yeah. So let's go to the next one here. 1 Corinthians 7th chapter, what's that, verse 2? But because of the temptation to sexual immorality, each man should have his own wife and each woman her own husband. So you don't have to be committing sexual immorality. You have your own wife, your own husband, to which and whom you can do that with. Galatians 5th chapter 19 through the 21st verse. Now the works of the flesh are evident: sexual immorality, enmity, strife, jealousy, fits of anger, rivalries, dissensions, divisions, envy, drunkenness, orgies. What? I remember hearing that in the Bible. Orgies and things like these. Is this King James Version? I warn you, as I warned you before, that those who do such things will not inherit the kingdom of God. So basically, just try to stay away from that. That way you just have a better life. But let's go into Romans 6 chapter 23rd verse. For the wages of sin is death, but the gift of God is eternal life through Jesus Christ our Lord. And when I read that verse, what I think about, what always jumps in my mind is, like I say, it's probably not even talking about literal death. I like to think of it as the wages of sin is death. So yeah, you can go out and you can have all the sex you want, but yes, at the end of the day, you got STDs. At the end of the day, you can get pregnant. So, and what do these things bring? Heartache, depression, pain, consequences of having a child now you got to take care of for 18 years, and not even 18 years, because as a parent, you're a parent for life. So, and it can speak of other things as well. Yeah, you can go do what you want to do, because at the end of the day, there's consequences for it. And it might not be literal death, but it's going to feel like death, because it's going to cause you to where, you have a child, you can't move in the streets like you want to. You might can't accomplish things like you want to. Say you're a very career-minded person. We can talk about Halle Bailey. Say you're a career-minded person. Halle Bailey is a career-minded young woman. And I first heard of Halle and her sister Chloe almost probably around 20, like the 2020s, 2021, 22, and saw them making covers on YouTube. I just ran across them one day. I was like, who are these girls with this beautiful voice? And I don't even listen to a lot of music like how I used to listen to back when I was growing up, because, I only listen to kind of like Christian gospel music these days. But, I hear things. You go places and you hear things. And I kind of stay in these streets. I know what's going on and hear things. And I'm like, wow, these girls can really sing. I mean, the clarity and of their voices, and wow. And so then fast forward into the future now, Halle has this Little Mermaid movie coming out. I'm like, wow, she's really going to be a Disney princess. And I started hearing about who she was dating. And I was like, who is that? I want to see who this dude is. I mean, because these girls are very classy and well, I don't know about now because they started going a route of becoming more Hollywood. So now they dress a little bit different. And I already knew that was coming. I was like, oh my gosh, I bet these girls are going to start going that route. And they surely did. And they started making a different kind of music, you know. So and started singing about sex more. And so that whole ordeal. But we all know that was coming. You probably part of Hollywood. Yeah, so I went to go see who she was dating. I was like, who is this clown? So you know who he reminded me of? He reminded me of one of the little clown things that wear them little hats. I think they call them jesters. What's the difference between a clown and a jester? Is there a difference? But that's how he had looked. When I first saw this dude, I said, who is this clown? Because he had his hair fixed. It had looked like one of those jester like hats that they wear. But lo and behold, so movie about to come out, then there started being rumors of her being pregnant. I was like, no. I was like, oh no, please, please, please. I hope this girl's not pregnant. And sure enough, she was trying to hide the pregnancy. And I guess a lot of people don't like DDG for certain reasons. They feel like she's more high class and he's below her standards. And man, but what a way to go to be. I don't want to say she's at the height of her career, but to me, it's almost like now her career would have been taken off because she's a Disney princess. That was going to put her really on the map, not only for her singing, acting. She can act too. I loved her in The Little Mermaid. And getting movie roles and bam, pregnant. And like I said, it puts a stigma on you. It puts a stigma on women. And so I just hope her career goes up. I'm rooting for her. I'm hoping this doesn't, affect her career because very talented. I mean, both her and her sisters can sing, act, play instruments. Wow. So, but like I said, it's always on the woman. It's always the stigma on the woman because guess what? He just gonna go about his days. If anything, that's a notch in his belt. He got the Little Mermaid pregnant. So don't let these guys Halle Bailey you. We ain't doing that either. But like I say, let's go back to Romans 6 chapter and the 23rd verse, because the wages of sin is death. At the end of the day, guess what? Yeah, you can go out and keep doing what you do and fornicating, and this can play into other areas of your life as well of you not, following certain rules in life, maybe not staying celibate, maybe not, shying away from that, because at the end of the day, guess who is going to hurt you? Those rules are there to protect you. So especially as a woman, I think and this is definitely not to bash any woman. This video is definitely not to bash any woman. I'm always going to be on women's side, but I just want to get women thinking a different way. Me being a woman of a particular age, yeah, I can speak on this subject. I'm not that young. I know I might look young, but no, I ain't as young as you think. So, but I just want, this is basically for the younger generation, for the younger girls, because we are women, let's be more probably marriage minded, and in our younger years, just building our character and building our faith in God and carrying our way in a certain way, just having be that Proverbs 31 woman. Just, carry yourself with respect. Don't be here out in these streets doing it up with these men and then thinking that's all they want you for is sexual pleasure, because yeah, that's mainly what men think all day. That's mainly what they want all day. So let's try to vet these men, seeing who is more marriage minded, who wants to get married. That's one thing. Make sure they want to get married. Make sure they want to have kids and have a family. And make sure you also vet their parents as well, because in their family, seeing, do they have a mom and dad who's been together or been married or was more marriage minded, and look at the way they act toward each other and their family act toward each other and with each other. So it just has to be a different way with how us as women, or we as women, operate in these streets, because it's just different, just because of the fact that we are women. We have the womb. We can get pregnant. Consequences can happen because of that. So ain't no other way around it. And then if you want to bring spirituality and the Bible into it, go to the Bible and see what that says, because the wages of sin is death. And you don't want to make your life a living what, because you decided that you want to do what you want to do. Oh, you so feminine, you don't need a man, you just want to raise these kids by yourself, and you got all these kids and baby daddies. No, let's try not to make that a trend, all these different baby daddies and multiple baby daddies. No, let's make sure that all our kids look alike. Let's go back to that. And I know things happen, and I know the things in this world has changed so much, because the women are now doing their own thing, making their own money, and we're not settling anymore. So now, like I say, back in the day where probably we would have stayed like how our parents stayed and to keep the family together, these women are saying no. They're saying no, I don't care. 1 baby, 2 baby, 3 baby, and different daddies. And so, but let's just try to go back to doing things the right way. That way it's less heartache, it's less pain, it's less depression, less of you losing your mental health. Let's just try to get back to doing things the right way, because at the end of the day, you do things the right way, you have a good outcome in life. And that's just it. And I love you guys. I love the women out there, especially young ladies. This message is definitely for you. You don't have to be in them streets doing what every girl do. If they wanted to go sleep around with guys, let them do it. That don't mean you have to do it. Let's try to be more marriage minded, and let's try to do things the right way. And if it don't work out after that, hey, at least you tried to do it the right way first. And even after that, let's not try to jump in and out of relationships so fast, and always try to practice a little bit of celibacy, and just not fornicating. Just try to do that as well. I think that could help as well, of slowing down a lot of this multiple baby daddy thing. So we as women, we gotta operate a different way, we gotta roll a different way, and let's just do that. And that way we have a better outcome in life, our kids have a better outcome in life, and we as women, our mental health as well, we'd be more stable to raise a family. But anyway, you guys, comment below, let me know what you guys think, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.